commence this year, December 21 this year in Morocco. It will take place from, it will hold from December 21 this year to January 18 next year. And 24 teams will participate in the upcoming African Cup of Nations. And today we are taking a look at Group B today. I'm going to be doing the preview of Group B. Group B has teams like South Africa, Egypt, Angola, and Zimbabwe. So these are the 4 countries there. So of these 4 countries, South Africa, Egypt, Angola, and Zimbabwe, viewers, which team do you think will top the group? Which team do you think will top the group? Is it South Africa that will top the group, or Angola, or is it Egypt, or is it Zimbabwe? Which team do you think will top the group? Of course, the top 2 teams from each group will qualify automatically for the round of 16, while the 4 best top place teams will join them also in the round of 16. So the top 2 teams from each group alongside 4 best top place teams will qualify for the round of 16. But which team do you think will qualify from this group out of South Africa, Egypt, Angola, or Zimbabwe? So I'm going to start with South Africa. For South Africa, they are nicknamed Bafana Bafana. They qualified for the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations by finishing first from Group K with 14 points in the qualifying series. And this is their 12th appearance at the African Cup of Nations. And South Africa's best result at the African Cup of Nations was winning it in 1996. So the Bafana Bafana of South Africa were champions in 1996. South Africa are ranked 61 in the world. The head coach of South Africa is Hugo Broos. And South Africa have players like Ronwen Williams, who plays as the goalkeeper for the club, Mamelodi Sundowns of South Africa. And talking about Ronwen Williams, he's the captain of South Africa. There's also Leif Foster, who plays as a forward for Premier League club Burnley. And then talking about South Africa, they've got loads of players. Those are just the few I mentioned. They also have Teboho Mokoena, there's Teboho Mokoena, and then there's Teboho Mokoena. So they've got loads of players. And looking at the way they fared in the qualifying series, talk about Bafana. In the qualifying series, they played some matches. In the qualifying series for the African Cup of Nations, 6 matches were played by each team. So A is the matches played by South Africa. In their first match, they played a 2-0 draw with Uganda. In the second match, they defeated South Sudan 3-2. In the third match, South Africa defeated Congo 5-0. In their fourth match in the qualifying series, they played a 1-1 draw with Congo. In their fifth match, they defeated Uganda 2-0. And in their sixth match, they defeated South Sudan 3-0. So these are the matches played by South Africa in the African Cup of Nations qualifiers. Once again, in their first match, they played a 2-0 draw with Uganda. In their second match, they defeated South Sudan 3-2. In their third match, they defeated Congo 5-0. In their fourth match, they played a 1-0 draw with Congo. In their fifth match, they defeated Uganda 2-0. And in their sixth match, they defeated South Sudan 3-0. And in all, South Africa scored a total of 16 goals in the qualifiers, and then they considered 5 goals as well in the qualifiers for the African Cup of Nations. So that's all about South Africa. The second team in Group B is Egypt. For Egypt, they are nicknamed the Pharaohs of Egypt, and they qualified for the 2025 African Cup of Nations by finishing first from Group C with 14 points in the qualifying series. And for Egypt, this is their 27th appearance at the African Cup of Nations, and they have won the African Cup of Nations a record 7 times. Talking about Egypt, they are the most successful team in the history of the African Cup of Nations. They've won it 7 times. Next to them is Cameroon, who have won it 5 times. The Indomitable Lions of Cameroon have won the African Cup of Nations 5 times, while Egypt still hold the highest record in the African Cup of Nations, having won it 7 times. So in terms of the African Cup of Nations, Egypt are the most successful team. And looking at the years they won it in 1957, in 1959, in 1986, in 1998, in 2006, 2008, and 2010. Then talking about Egypt, looking at the FIFA ranking, they are ranked 34 in the world. And the head coach of Egypt is Osam Azan, who is the former Egyptian international. Remember him? The popular Osam Azan is their coach and is a former Egyptian international. And Egypt have players like Mohamed Salah, who plays as a right winger, he plays as a right winger or forward for the Premier League side, Liverpool. And then they also have Omar Mamouche, who plays as a forward for Premier League club Manchester City. There's also Trezeguet as well. So they've got loads of players talking about the Egyptian national team. And when I mentioned Mohamed Salah, when it comes to football, world football is really phenomenal. He's really a renowned player when it comes to world football, and he has done a lot of exploits with the club Liverpool. He has really done a lot of exploits with Liverpool, and he also won the last. He won the last Premier League with them when Liverpool won the Premier League in the 2024-2025 season. And it was really, he has really been their point man for a long period of time. He has been so relevant to the Liverpool squad. That's talking about Mohamed Salah. Then the third country in the group, then looking at Egypt, looking at the matches Egypt played in the World Cup, in the African Cup of Nations qualifiers. In their first match, they defeated Cape Verde 3-0. In their second match, they defeated Botswana 4-0. In their third match, Egypt defeated Mauritania 2-0. In their fourth match, they also defeated Mauritania 1-0. That's in the reverse fixture. In their fifth match, they played a 1-0 draw with Cape Verde, and in their sixth match, they played a 1-0 draw with Botswana. So in all, in the African Cup of Nations qualifiers, Egypt scored 12 goals and they conceded 2 goals. So that is the second country in the group, Egypt. Now the third country in the group is Angola. And for Angola, they are nicknamed Palancas Negras, and then they qualified for the 2025 African Cup of Nations by finishing first from Group F with 14 points in the qualifying series. They actually finished first in that group and ahead of teams like Ghana. Angola qualified for the Nations Cup. But they actually qualified from the Nations Cup in the same group that we had Ghana as well. So Angola qualified ahead of Ghana for the Nations Cup. They finished first from the group. They finished first with 14 points from Group F in the qualifying series. And talking about Angola at the African Cup of Nations, this is their 10th appearance at the African Cup of Nations, and their best result at the African Cup of Nations was getting to the quarterfinal in 2008, 2010, and 2023. They are ranked 89 in the world. That's talking about the Palancas Negras. They are ranked 89 in the world, and their head coach is Patrice Bumeli. That's the name of their head coach, Patrice Bumeli. And Angola have players like Freddy, who plays as a winger for TFF 1 league club Bodrum in Turkey. He plays in Turkey. And then there's also Manuel Benson, who plays as a winger for EFL Championship club Swansea City. I'm looking at the matches Angola played in the African Cup of Nations qualifiers. In the first match, Angola defeated the Black Stars of Ghana 1-0. In their second match, they defeated Sudan 2-1. In their third match, they defeated Niger Republic 3-0. In their fourth match, they also defeated Niger 1-0. In their fifth match, they played a 1-0 draw with Ghana, that's in the reverse fixture. And in their sixth match, they played a goalless draw with Sudan. So in all, in the qualifiers for the Afcon, Angola scored 7 goals and they conceded 2 goals in the qualifiers. So that's all about Angola. Then looking at the fourth country in Group B is Zimbabwe. For Zimbabwe, they are nicknamed the Warriors. They qualified for the 2025 African Cup of Nations by finishing as runners-up from Group J with 9 points in the qualifying series. And this is their 6th appearance at the African Cup of Nations. Zimbabwe have never gone beyond the group stage of the African Cup of Nations. And talking about FIFA ranking, they are ranked 129 in the world. The head coach of Zimbabwe is Mario Marinisa, and Zimbabwe have players like Marshall Munetsi, who plays as a defensive midfielder for Premier League club Wolves. There's also Tawanda Chirewa, who plays as a right winger for Premier League club Wolves. That's talking about Zimbabwe. And looking at the matches Zimbabwe played in the African Cup of Nations qualifiers, looking at the matches they played, as I said earlier, each team in the qualifiers played 6 matches. Each team played 6 matches. So for Zimbabwe, in their first match, they played a goalless draw with Kenya. In their second match, they played a goalless draw with Cameroon. In their third match, they defeated Namibia 1-0. In their fourth match, they defeated Namibia 3-1. That's in the reverse fixture. In the fifth match, they played a 1-0 draw with Kenya. and in the sixth match, they defeated Zimbabwe. Sorry, in the sixth match, they lost to Cameroon 2-1. They lost to Cameroon 2-1. Once again, let me just read out the matches. In their first match, they played a goalless draw with Kenya. That's talking about Zimbabwe. In the second match, they played a goalless draw with the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon. In their third match, they defeated Namibia 1-0. In their fourth match, they defeated Namibia 3-1. In their fifth match, they played a 1-0 draw with Kenya. And in their sixth match, they defeated Zimbabwe 2-1. In their sixth match, they lost to Cameroon 2-1. They lost to Cameroon 2-1. So those are the matches played by Zimbabwe. So Zimbabwe scored 6 goals and conceded 4 goals in the World Cup qualifiers. So this is looking at the preview of the team. So once again, Group B has teams like South Africa, Egypt, Angola, and Zimbabwe. So who do you think will top the group amongst all these teams? We've looked at them one by one. We explained them one by one, looking at their performances in the qualifiers. I said for South Africa in the qualifiers, they finished first from Group K with 14 points. Then for Egypt in the qualifiers, they also finished first from their own group. They were in Group C with 14 points as well. Then for Angola in the World Cup qualifiers, they finished first from Group F with 14 points. Don't forget that Angola qualified ahead of Ghana, So they finished first from that group. They finished first from Group F with 14 points. And for Zimbabwe were runners-up in their own group. That has Cameroon. They were second to Cameroon. They were second behind Cameroon. So they were runners-up. They finished with 9 points from Group J. So looking at them once again, which of these teams do you think will top the group? I'm talking about topping the group now. Which of these teams will come first in the group? Is it Angola, or is it Egypt, or is it South Africa, or is it Zimbabwe? What's your take on this? Who do you think will top the group among these 4 countries? Who do you think will top the group? Don't forget that the top 2 teams from each group, alongside 4 best third place teams, will make it to the round of 16. Yes, but my question is, who do you think will top the group amongst all these teams? Once again, Group B has countries like South Africa, Egypt, Angola, and Zimbabwe. Give me your feedback and your take. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. It's your girl, Top C. Thank you.